Hey, so here's a recap of today's video with Brooksby. We did a lot of walking practice today, as well as some place and just self-regulation in different environments. But I wanted to include some of the snippets because he's making such progress and it's been such a short time. So right here, he saw a stranger on the place cot. He was definitely leery of her, and especially the longer he was on that place and she stood there, the more he was like, I don't know about this. But when we build in that neutrality of I can see something and be rewarded for it and not have to react or not have to have big feelings, the better he gets every single time. Now, he does get distracted very, very easily. So he was like, oh, look, I'm sniffing the toys or I'm sniffing these treats. But eventually I can get him back up there, get him refocused. I reward him for his efforts of going onto place. Probably in the next session or two, I'm going to stop rewarding that as much because place, you don't get rewarded until you're released. But this is that practice of getting him comfortable of making good decisions as he's going about it. Now, something to note is she's talking during this time frame, so he is working on hearing someone talk to him and how to handle it. And right there, he coughs up second treats. So usually when a dog eats a treat too fast, they'll cough it up and then eat it again. I call them second treats. We went right back on place, and he settled beautifully. Now, in a moment, her dog is going to come out. He does have a little bit of reaction, more of like a little bit of fur and boof boof when he barks. I pull him off of it, redirect, give us some space to neutralize how much energy that is, and then I put him right back on the place. So you're going to see in just a moment how we handled the disruption and then how we come back to our starting point. Uh-huh. Come on. Good boy. Yes. Brooksby. Up. Up. Okay. No, leave it, sir. So right here, I'm redirecting him back onto that place. He's fur's down, his tail's wiggling, giving him some good boys, and then I'm going to release him in just a moment. This is how we handle redirections, and this is what we want. Also, I just wanted to include this clip because look at that tail. He was so happy. We were doing some like quick on and offs just to make sure he understood his place, and it was adorable just how happy and open his body language was. It was really cool to see. So I just wanted to include it for you guys. Also, quick side note, yes, I have scissors in my hand. I'm cutting up a very big treat log into very tiny bite-sized pieces, and it's just easier if I do it with scissors or with a knife. So I don't do this often, but it's also a good way to practice distractions of, hey, I'm cutting up a treat in front of you. You can't just jump for it. I always practice with treats in my hand first, and then that's why I stood away from him for a couple moments just to fix it. But just to explain what I was doing. Now, here is kind of a new thing that we've been working on. I wanted to see how he would self regulate without too much of a command. So he's not in an active place. I'm not commanding him to place. It's more of I'm just asking him to sit or lay down on the cot. I'm not giving him a command with it. He's in my office, and it's how do we handle long periods of distractions that occasionally things come about. So this is a sped up version of about 20 minutes sped up pretty quickly to where we have a dogs come past, we have some staff come past, and for the most part, he doesn't really bark or charge at the door. He's definitely uncomfortable and doesn't really settle with this process, but it's all about giving him a chance to, okay, you're stuck to the leash. What are you going to do? How are you going to regulate? Now, his comfort zone is definitely under the tables and standing right next to me. His butt usually was against my knee. That's not uncommon for dogs that are insecure or unsure about their situation. But as we progressed, he was more than willing to go up on that cot and stand on it or sit on it. One, because that's what we use place for, but also he got rewarded for it. So it's teaching him eventually, hey, I'm going to sit at the office and do some work. You got to sit down right next to me, and he's just going to plop right down. Eventually, it doesn't matter if he's underneath the desk or outside of the desk, but encouraging him out of the desk is getting that self confidence that we're looking for. So he's a little bit more comfortable in unusual situations. One thing to note is that he does do stress yawns quite a bit in this clips. So you're going to see him yawn often. That's him trying to regulate himself to calm down, but it's also him notifying, hey, I feel uncomfortable in this situation. He has a wide, beautiful smile, but he also does a lot of that wide panting that just shows that he's just, again, unsure about what's happening. Some of it's where he is relaxed, and some of it's just a slight fine difference between the two. So this is where just watching his body language. He's not tucked, he's not scared, he's interested, he's open, but also when something big happens, he doesn't have little feelings. He goes from 0 to 10 very quickly. So trying to get him to realize, oh, hey, I can see the thing and it's not a big deal. I don't have to go full floof mode with my hair all up. I can just sit and relax. I would recommend that you guys put him on a slip leash or put his brother on a slip leash and him on a slip leash. And if you work from home, attach him to you during a meeting. If you're going to watch Netflix or a movie at night, have him on a place by your feet or have the leash underneath your foot while you're watching a TV show. You're outside in the backyard. One brother's getting to play, the other brother's on a leash, and then swap. Teaching them how to be calm and to observe the world. The leash helps you hang on to them in a calm manner, in a neutral manner. But we usually have to teach dogs how to self-regulate, and this is one of the best ways to do it. He did a really good job with this, especially with the distractions that we had. So right here, I want to point out he laid down on his own. Now, I was trying to be as calm and nonchalant as possible, but internally, I am doing a happy dance because having a dog lay down on their own is ultimate. That is exactly what we want. So he got kind of a bigger piece than normal for that. But this is a good reward. This is he feels safe and he's trusting the environment to settle. We want this behavior. Now, one of the things that we wrapped up today with is just some general leash commands. This was after noodling a little bit on the leash in a walk. I made that slip lead nice and big so you can see it's really low on him. It's not usually where I like to have slip leads, but we had just done a ton of leash work, so I wanted him to really just focus on body pressure more so. This was just kind of freehand. There's a person right there. Can I noodle? Can I sit? Can I walk around? He wasn't barking at the gentleman, which was a big thing. Now, right here, he does this thing where he looks backwards, like upside down backwards. And it was hilarious because it was like, what are you doing? And he was just being kind of a goofy puppy, which is nice to see. Now, right here, I'm encouraging him in a down and I'm giving him treats because here comes that person's dog. I redirect him. So he does boof a little bit and I'm telling him leave it. I'm putting my body between him and the dogs. And eventually I'm going to redirect him back onto that place cot. So unfortunately we're out of camera sight, but we're right next to it and I apologize. But right here, I get him right back onto that place cot and I reward. It's okay to have reactions. It's not okay to not regulate after those reactions. We have to learn how to settle afterwards. And we have a person walk in right behind us and interested. Um, and he is working on that place cot and leave it. So right here, I'm telling him leave it. I'm telling him place. And I am body blocking him from this little guy, Jack. He's not boofing at him. He's not charging at him. He's interested, but I'm also encouraging the behavior. He looks at the dog, he gets a little treat. He looks at the dog, he gets a little treat. Now, I'm not letting him have the chance to get away from me, but again, I'm encouraging this good behavior. He's calm, he's focused, he's interested, but I'm literally looking for he's not barking at the other dog, which is phenomenal work. Last but not least, we did some long lead practice. So how far away can I get from him as he's doing his place command? Again, after we do these, we'll go play with the flirt pole. We'll go walk around. We'll go take a rest and then come back out. And when he is released, you can see where that kind of jumps off of him. He's doing a really good job, especially being so early on into training. He wants to learn. He wants to do the things. It's about getting him cues of safety and comfortable in his own skin and with his handlers. So today was a very good day.